As a New England native, Matt Taven should be happy with Boston sports these days. The Boston sports scene is as good as any in the country. The Red Sox are off to a hot start and the Celtics and Bruins are in the NBA and NHL playoffs, respectively. But like so many other New Englanders, it's not good enough for Matt Taven. "We're never happy," explained the Boston native. "We're never satisfied unless our teams are winning. As fun as it is, we're all kind of grumpy up here right now." More, greatest Royal Rumble preview. That may help explain why the Ring of Honor star isn't currently satisfied with his career. He's won almost every title the promotion has to offer, including the World Television Championship, the World Tag Team Championships and the World Six-Man titles. But one title continues to elude Taven, the Ring of Honor World Championship. Taven has been vocal that he is deserving of a title shot, but despite that, it's not happening. Not yet, at least. That hasn't stopped Taven, along with his faction known as the Kingdom, from claiming there is a Kingdom conspiracy in Ring of Honor. "It's based in reality," explained Taven. "I have a serious question of why. I've been in Ring of Honor for 5 years. I've won every title that they have to offer besides one, and I've only had 2 opportunities at that title. Both matches had interference in them, but nothing was ever done about it. I was never given an honest chance, an honest shake with a rematch, an even opportunity. I feel like I deserve it. The only thing I'm asking Ring of Honor is what I deserve." Taven has made his argument on social media and at various Ring of Honor events. That will likely happen again this weekend when ROH holds 2 shows in Florida, Friday night in West Palm Beach and Saturday in Lakeland. Both shows will stream live online at ROHWrestling.com for Honor Club members, the company's subscriber-based streaming service. Before Supercard of Honor in early April, Taven and the Kingdom created quite the scene outside the building before the show, using megaphones to tell fans that they were being conspired against. Taven even stood on top of a van and he screamed his case to the point where ROH CEO Joe Koff walked over to hear him out. "We came up with the idea that we're going to make a scene," said Taven. "We're going to make our cause known and no one is going to stop us. We literally talked to all of the security guards there that we had permission to drive up onto the sidewalk and over their barricades, and we just took over. People started burning Bullet Club shirts and things started happening organically. We caused quite a scene. The best part is the crowd that formed around us." For Joe Koff to come out there and see that, I think it opened his eyes a little bit. A wrestling fan since he was a kid, Taven has seen other situations like this play out over the years, whether it was the NWO staging a coup or to Generation X attempting to invade WCW. Taven used those examples into how he approached what he wanted to do to garner attention. "I couldn't get a tank, but if I could, I would have," admitted Taven. "It seems like if you want to get your voice heard, you have to go out there, guerrilla warfare style, and get in front of people's faces and make them listen to you. A lot of people have short attention spans now. They're clicking the next video, they're swiping the next screen. When someone is on top of a van screaming at you at the top of their lungs, it's hard to ignore. I'm waiting for someone to shove me down. I'm daring Ring of Honor to put a muzzle on me. I know they won't, and I know my fans won't stand for that. I think that we made enough noise to get Ring of Honor's attention in the past, and this conspiracy thing has taken on a life of its own, and for people to be buying the shirts, buying the pins, making the signs, showing up at places. It's one of those things where if you ignore it, you're going to be on the wrong side of history." Taven has also pointed at Bullet Club and the success it has reached in becoming a pop culture phenomenon as part of the conspiracy that, in his mind, is holding him down. That's its own monster, Taven said. Is it part of the conspiracy we're fighting? I think so, but no one has come out and said that either. We've made our case against certain aspects of Bullet Club, especially Cody Rhodes. What do you do to get attention? Well, you speak the truth, especially on a Melvin like Cody Rhodes. Anytime I go at him on Twitter, it seems to get a big following and support system behind it because I think people can see the truth. They can see what's really going on, whether it's Bullet Club or Ring of Honor officials. People can see through the hype. The 33-year-old Taven has had to overcome other adversity, including missing most of 2016 following a serious knee injury. Plus, the other members of the Kingdom at the time, Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis, left the promotion. When Taven returned in late 2016, he recruited TK O'Ryan and Vinny Marseglia to be part of a new version of the Kingdom, one in which he would be at the center. It made perfect sense considering that they were all New Englanders who came from the same wrestling school and had already become good friends. The Kingdom has always been real-life friendship, explained Taven. A real group, a group that travels together, that if there was no label on it, if there was nothing of the Kingdom, we'd still be this tight and this close and we'd still have the relationship that we have today. There is something about all of them being from the same area of the country, a similar background and a certain approach to wrestling and life that Taven believes gives them an advantage as a group. We have the same mindset about wrestling, said Taven. We have the same theories and goals and the way we look at wrestling. The way we approach it is very similar because we come from the same place. We have that New Englander mindset, stubborn and hard-headed, but at the same time very driven. We might say some pretty rough things to each other in the heat of the moment, but we know we have to get the job done and finish what we started. You can say the worst things to your best friends because they know it comes from a good place. That's the kind of relationship we have with the Kingdom. Sometimes we'll be in the ring screaming at one another to get something done, but we know it's because we have each other's best interests in mind. When the day came up in March, I was like 10 years. Man, that sounds like I'm old now, but it's been a crazy journey, and for it to be 10 years now and I still love it as much as I did at day one, I don't think I'd change anything at this point. Taven has racked up plenty of accomplishments over that time in Ring of Honor as well as in New Japan Pro Wrestling and Mexico's MLL, where he is the current NWA World Historic Middleweight Champion. But it's those special, rare moments that stand out when he takes a moment. Me and Mike Bennett winning the IWGP Tag titles in New Japan at Sumo Hall is a crazy memory. I can kind of close my eyes and picture Sumo Hall, and to think about that place being completely sold out with people jammed in there, it's quite a memory. The first time I was at Arena Mexico, walking down the stairs there, it's another thing where you can close your eyes and picture that sea of people. There's so many memories with so many people you've met along the way. I've had a chance to meet my idols and spend time with them. I rode in a car for 3 hours with Bret Hart and, like a 6-year-old fan, asked him every question I ever wanted. He was such a good sport about it. It's little things like that that almost mean more than the wrestling itself. I mentioned Sumo Hall, but I almost remember more me and Mike at the hotel afterwards taking pictures and calling people, smiling to each other like, man, we did it. As for right now, Taven plans on speaking loudly and proudly until those calling the shots give him the opportunity he desperately wants. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, and until I get that oil, I'm going to be as squeaky as I can be. Brian Fritz can be reached at btrfritz@gmail.com. Follow him on Twitter at Brian Fritz and listen to his Between the Ropes podcast on Blog Talk Radio.